Capital One just made a quiet move that could change how millions of people use their credit cards in 2026. And every single Capital One credit card holder is going to be affected. We're talking Venture, Quicksilver, Savor, some of the most popular cards in America, and they may be getting pulled off of Mastercard and moved to Discover's network. Yeah, Discover's network. Now, I want you to understand this isn't Reddit speculation. This is pulled directly from Capital One's own benefits guides because it's been updated. And if you carry a Capital One card or you're thinking about getting one, you need to understand what this means for your travel, your rewards, your acceptance overseas, and most importantly, why Capital One is really doing this. So let's go ahead and jump right in and let's break this down. Now let's talk about the $35 billion move that nobody is talking about back in May of last year, when Capital One bought Discover Bank for $35 billion. Let me repeat that again, $35 billion. Now let's think strategically. Discover isn't just a bank. Discover is a payment network. That puts it in the same league as Visa, Mastercard, and American Express. And that is rare. Because most banks issue cards on someone else's network, but Discover, they own the rails. And when you own the rails, you control the fees, and you control the processing, you control the ecosystem. Now ask yourself this. If you spent $35 billion buying a payment network, are you gonna keep paying Mastercard and Visa billions in swipe fees? Or are you gonna start moving traffic into your own network? Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about the first clue, which is debit cards already moved. 8 months ago, something subtle happened. Capital One moved their debit cards to the Discover network, and most people didn't even notice. But the new debit cards showed the Discover logo on the back. That was the test. Debit cards have lower merchant fees than credit cards, so that was the safe trial run, as I like to call it. But here's where it gets interesting. Now, Capital One's own benefit guides, publicly available, show certain credit cards with updated terms effective February 1st, 2026. Let me say that again. February 1st, 2026. That means the products already exist internally. They just haven't officially announced it yet. And the cards listed? Venture, Venture 1, Savor, Savor 1, Quicksilver, Quicksilver 1. You notice something? All mid-tier, all mostly Mastercard. Now guess what's missing? Venture X, the premium travel credit card, the Visa Infinite product. That one isn't in the update, and that tells you everything. But let's talk the real strategy. This is about profit. This is not random. This is strategic. Capital One likely keeps the Venture X on Visa for maximum international acceptance because high-income travelers expect global coverage. But the mid-tier and entry-level cards, move them to Discover. Why? Because when transactions run on Discover, Capital One keeps more of the swipe fee. No middleman, no Mastercard cut, more profit per transaction, and multiply that by millions of cardholders. And that $35 billion acquisition starts paying for itself real fast. This isn't about convenience, this is about margins. But what about acceptance? Now let's address the elephant in the room. Because Discover doesn't have the same international acceptance as Visa or Mastercard. In the US, you're mostly fine. But overseas, it gets tricky in parts of Africa, the Middle East, certain parts of Asia. Now Europe, solid. Japan, solid. South Korea, still solid. Major tourist areas, mostly covered. But if you're the type traveling to rural Africa or niche regions, you might run into issues. So here's the real question. Is this going to hurt the average cardholder? Honestly, probably not. But there's a big but, a huge but, so wait for that part, okay? Stick with me here. Because honestly, most people carry more than one card anyways, and serious travelers already carry Visa or Amex backups. But psychologically, Discover doesn't feel as strong as Visa or Mastercard, and perception always matters. Now here's the part that nobody's talking about out loud because a lot of people don't understand credit completely. There are 3 options that can happen with this massive merger. Option number 1 is you keep the same exact account number and the same exact card, and they just switch out the processor. I've never seen that done historically. Just giving you a real answer there. Number 2 is you keep the same account number, but they switch the card number and the card processor. And the third and most very volatile action that you don't want to see is they close your account, issue you a new account, new card with a new processor. That could be the most catastrophic thing to happen to Americans right now and cause people's credit scores to drop, utilizations to rise, because you're removing an account and you're removing that available credit, and you're removing the age of credit also. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Kenneth. Kenneth's credit score went up 282 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Arthur's credit score went up 670 points after just 2 rounds with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget Destiny. Destiny's credit score went up 264 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. But specifically to Brandon, Brandon's credit score went up 185 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. And Ashley's credit score went up 218 points after just 2 rounds with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget about Julio. Julio's credit score went up 266 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast link is going to be pinned at the very top of the comments and in the video description for anyone that needs to fix their credit. So people with thin credit profiles may see a massive credit score drop, and then people with big credit profiles will see some drop, but not as drastically as thinner credit profiles, because some of those thinner credit profiles may have one of those Capital One credit cards as one of their older credit cards. I know that was a lot to process, but I really want to give you real information so you can know what actually could potentially happen, because Capital One's not telling us the whole story. And another option is Capital One quietly starts issuing Discover versions to new applicants first, then gradually transitions existing cardholders during renewals or reissues. And they'll frame it as expanded network benefits, improved integration, or enhanced customer experience. Last part's the most important. But make no mistake, this is about internalizing profit. So here's the bottom line. Capital One didn't spend $35 billion to let Discover sit on a shelf. They are going to use it. The real question is how fast and how aggressive they get. Now I want to hear from you. Would you cancel your Capital One card if it moved to Discover, or do you not care at all? Let me know in the comments right now. I'm going to read them all, and I'm going to try to respond to as many as I possibly can, as I usually do. And if you carry a Venture X, are you worried they'll eventually move that too? Because if they ever move Venture X to Discover, that'll change everything. And if you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here, because it's going to show you how AI will do all the work for you, mail your letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee, plus a free credit analysis to let you know what's hurting your credit and let you fix it instantly. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.